Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm Big LT, DJ Let's Player of Big LT Radio. Welcome to another exciting episode of Funko Stories. And I don't know when I'll be doing another one because, and I know I said that 2 videos ago. What was with the Nami Funko because I guess, but I bought like 2 new ones like right away, beginning of the month. So this is the only other one I have right now until I get some other ones in the mail. I have 4 more coming in the mail. They haven't shipped yet, but 2 of them are going to be complete repeats. The other two, kind of in the middle. But before we get on to, well, I can show you the Funko, but I got a little bit of a rant before we get to the actual story. So here's the Funko. You know what the rant is? I don't know if you can. Well, you don't know if you can see it. This was in the mail. This was damaged the moment I got it in the mail. I don't know if it was the postal service that damaged it or if it was damaged or whatever. I can't say exactly if it was the business that damaged it, but I think it might have to do with the postal service because apparently the packaging this was in was also damaged. So I had to open it at one point to try to buff out the damage as best I could. So it's good for now. Wish it wasn't damaged, but yes. Anyway, today's Funko story: Dark Magician Girl / Yu-Gi-Oh. It's going to be kind of a double-sided story today because it's going to be my relation with Yu-Gi-Oh and in my introduction to Dark Magician Girl. So let's start with how I got into Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, to be honest, right now, I dislike Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't like anything about Yu-Gi-Oh aside from Dark Magician Girl. But a few years ago, like a decade ago, I kind of was in it a little bit, but it'll all make sense as I tell you the story. Ow. Sorry about that. So basically, um, starts at around maybe 2005, 2006 ish. My dad, my half brother, and I, plus my half brother's excuse of a mother, we all went to a McDonald's. I believe it was Owatonna in Minnesota. Not ashamed to say where I'm located. Technically speaking, we've done that on channel a few times. Thank you, Scotty. But yeah, we went to a McDonald's. I believe it was in Owatonna, and at the time, Happy Meals / Kids Meals, one of the two, they were giving out in their meals or whatever promo cards of the Yu-Gi-Oh game, and my brother got them. Me, I was too old for it. I think I was about like 15 years old. I know there's people out there that still get Happy Meals when they're still adults, but nowadays it seems like that's a common occurrence when it's Pokemon cards. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, my brother gets a Happy Meal, at least something like that, because he wanted one. Me at the time, all I wanted was my 2 hamburgers, ketchup only. That's all I ever get. Um, so he opens up his Happy Meal. He takes a look at his Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and we were eating and everything. And as soon as I get done eating, I asked my brother if I can look at his. He gave me a look at him, and one of the cards that I was actually pretty interested in was not Dark Magician Girl yet. It was actually a different card. It was Legend, the Mystical Genie of the Lamp. I still remember it. I was looking at it for so long that I asked my brother if I can have it, and he apparently gave it to me. And if my brother's watching this, the only reason why you probably don't remember this is because you were probably like 2 or 3 years old at the time. So then again, right now he's a lot older. So he probably doesn't remember saying anything about this. He probably doesn't remember the Yu-Gi-Oh things. I still do. He gave me that specific Yu-Gi-Oh card, and it was kind of like the start of my collection. But it took a few years to a point where I met a friend that I met at a church of all things. That after getting to know him for a while, he was a Yu-Gi-Oh player. So I was like, oh, okay. And I started buying a few cards along with him and such. And fast forward a little bit to when we moved to, well, basically the building I'm living in right now. He's no longer here though, but he moved back to the same town we met. Um, we basically moved into this town, and it was about a few years later when we met this group of people who were big Yu-Gi-Oh players, like really big. And at the time, we were hanging out at certain places. There's a place actually right now, kitty corner from where I live. I'm not going to mention the name of it, but we were playing there for probably about a good year and a half until things got a little rowdy. We were making a lot of noise. Granted, I wasn't making that much noise. They were, they were kind of like starting to disrespect the rules of the place and such. And apparently, they were no longer, well, technically they, but we, because some of us, there's also Skyboy Rules was involved in this too, I should say. But we weren't allowed to play there anymore. So, I think there was a time we were doing it at my place for maybe about a month or two, maybe roughly around there, until we relocated over to Skyboy Rules' place on the top floor in the little community room. And that lasted for about, I don't know, he'll probably be able to say when, but he can't edit his voice in this video, so I'm sure he would have told me. But I feel like it was about a good maybe 5 to 7, maybe 8 months. The reason why was because, again, making a lot of noise, such, and apparently he must have got a noise complaint from that. I'm not 100% sure. But by the time this was starting to happen, I disbanded playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And from the group altogether. And there was a reason for that, and apparently one of the people that we were playing with, and it's not just this one person, apparently from what we heard, all of them can be associated with this, but apparently they were stealing games from me and Scotty and my friend and a former friend and selling it to our local GameStop without knowing about it. But there was a point where I had gotten a new DS. I know this is off topic for Yu-Gi-Oh, but just bear with me for this for a moment. I had gotten a new DS at GameStop and I had it for a few days. Took it with me to Scotty's place. Had it on the charger because apparently the battery was dying or something. And I was on Scotty's computer when he still had it. And somewhere along the lines, the DS got switched with my former friend's DS that looks exactly the same. However, my cartridge was in his DS. So when I saw that, oh, my DS is done charging, I grabbed the DS, I started playing it, went up to where they were. My former friend went to get his, and he couldn't find it. So the weird thing was that apparently I had his without knowing with my game cartridge. I even confirmed, no, I'm playing my game. See, my name's in on the game and everything. It was playing Pokemon at the time. And he was like, well, check the name on the DS home screen. And it was his. And I was like, well, how did mine get in yours? And then we found out mine was stolen by one of them. And after filing a theft report, so to speak, on possibly a person that could have done it, they went to the police went to the GameStop place and confirmed that at the time, with the DS serial number and the DS that was apparently in his file, confirmed that he was stealing games from a lot of us. So again, that's kind of my reason for disbanding with the group. Now, I got a little ahead because I had gotten to know Dark Magician Girl before this. It was at the place here, Kitty Corner. This is kind of this is a little bit of a side story here. But I was at the place that's Kitty Corner from where I am right now. When I was still playing with a few rounds with them and everything. I had a Obelisk the Tormentor card. I know what you're thinking, and you're probably right. I had an Obelisk the Tormentor card, and one of these guys had a Dark Magician Girl card. And I saw the Dark Magician Girl card, and I looked at it, and I thought, she's kind of cute. Now, this Dark Magician Girl card was probably a reprint of some sort because it was full body. It was a full body Dark Magician Girl card. And I know in the anime itself, when you look at the anime and the Dark Magician Girl card, it's like from like around here in the torso up. So this was kind of a more of a repaint because this was full body. I don't know what set it came from, but granted, yeah. So because of me not caring about the game, not caring about much of anything, I asked the guy if he would be willing to trade that Dark Magician Girl card for my Obelisk the Tormented card. At the time, my friend said, that's a bad trade. I didn't care. I could care less. It was at the end of the day, we decided, trade accepted. So I gave him my Obelisk, he gave me Dark Magician Girl. And I was happy with it. I was very happy. The only thing about Dark Magician Girl that I can say is that later on, I actually did get the torso up version of the card too. And the only one I didn't get was Toon Dark Magician Girl, which technically speaking, I'm thinking about. I mean, earlier today, I was thinking about it when I was thinking about how I was going to do this. I actually thought about it. I would like to buy a Toon Dark Magician Girl card if they're roughly a good price. I'm not saying that they are or they aren't. They're expensive, hard to find, very rare. Who cares? I'm just going to look and see what the price is. If they're at a reasonable price, maybe I'll buy one. But it'll probably be like next month. And speaking of Dark Magician Girl cards, I actually have one, but I can't share it with you guys. There's a reason. This is an Orca card that I got on eBay. To put it simple, I wouldn't say without getting demonetized, but more or less without getting a strike of any kind, Dark Magician Girl kind of has like absolutely nothing on. Just, I hope that's okay to say. I'm not going to bring it up here on the channel or anything. So just know that, yeah. It's actually just it actually looks like the standard original Dark Magician Girl card. The actual print of it. Just with nothing, like no top on, so to speak. Hopefully that doesn't get me in trouble with YouTube. But anyway, aside from that, you're probably also wondering, yes, I also have a Dark Magician Girl body pillow. Though you're probably wondering with the one with Nami, if I have one of her, technically speaking, no, I don't. I'm looking into it. So yeah, that's kind of like my story right there about Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dark Magician Girl. Granted, the thing about Dark Magician Girl that I could probably bring up is that I think a lot of guys rather prefer Dark Magician Girl, whereas the girl Yu-Gi-Oh! Players probably like Dark Magician the most. How do I know this? I like Dark Magician Girl. I have a friend that actually prefers Dark Magician over Dark Magician Girl. So, and she's female. And that's kind of like my thing. It's like, I prefer Dark Magician Girl over just a standard Dark Magician. There's a reason for that, though, but that's a different ball game. But she's kind of in the same boat, but the other way around. Yes, I think that's about all I can bring up for my Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Magician Girl type thing. Actually, to be honest, when I was playing with these guys, I never won a single duel. I was close though. I did get second, and you're probably wondering, how do you get second in just a standard game? It's just first or second. Well, yeah, but this was more of a battle royale thing we were doing. It was like 9 players at one time on a table. It was pretty chaotic, but that's why a lot of the noise complaints were happening and rowdiness and all that stuff. It's because we were all doing like a battle royale type deal. One person's trying to do a trap card, one of them's trying to do a spell card, trying to counter this, trying to counter that. Me, I'm just sitting there like, I'm staying out of this. I pretty much would too. I pretty much was staying out of it. Everybody else was doing everything else. I was like, I don't know. There's like 3 things going on right now. I don't know if I should or not. But yeah, it was just chaotic and everything. It's kind of the reason why I got out of the game in the first place. It was a little complicated for me to understand, and I felt like a lot of times I was making bad plays. Not to mention in the Battle Royale, I get at least last. I was always like the last one to get eliminated because being ganged up on and apparently don't knowing nothing about the game makes you an easy target. I'm just going to say that. That's probably the reason why my preferred card game of choice is most likely Pokemon. There is kind of a second one to this preferred card game that's Chaotic, which is no longer around anymore. Wish it was. But yeah, I much rather prefer Pokemon. And I brought up the whole Pokemon thing with McDonald's. I haven't bought any Pokemon cards in 3 years, and that's because of my ex and all that stuff. I never really got back into buying the cards and scalpers and everything going around. Not a good time to go back to buying them either. So, but I guess I'll always have this thing. So, I know it's completely different from Dark Magician Girl and Yu-Gi-Oh, but I brought up Pokemon. Might as well just share it. But yeah, I guess that is it. That's officially it. I'm done. Okay, so yeah, thank you for tuning in to I guess this week's episode of Funko Stories. I won't have anything next week when this goes live. Probably won't be until roughly next month at the latest. That I will be getting another Funko to talk about. Who knows? I might have one later this month in May, and may not have to wait until June, but you never know. I could still get something. I may not. We'll see how things go. I'm definitely going to look into buying some more Funkos beginning of next month that have already been released. Technically speaking, I guess I could bring up the Funkos. You guys are probably going to wait a long time to know what's coming. I suppose I can bring up what I have got in pre-ordered for Funkos before I wrap up. Two of them are technically Miku Funkos, and you're probably wondering, well, are you going to redo you're going to do 2 more Miku Funko stories? No, there's a thing behind this, and I have actually got a Luca Funko, a Luca V4X Funko as well. And I'll just show them off a little bit. I'll show the 2 Miku ones with the Luca, although it'll be primarily be a Luca Funko story, so you'll know those are things that are going to be a thing. I also have a Runo Misaki. If you don't know exactly who Runo Misaki is, Bakugan Battle Brawler. So I have a little bit of a story for Bakugan, so I think it will work a little bit. I always liked Runo the most in that anime, so when I saw they have a Funko for her, I was like, why not? And the last one, big surprise, because apparently they're bringing her back, a brand new version of her, Asuna from Sword Art Online. Now, this one won't be given to me until roughly the summertime, and the seller says that the person that supplies the shipment for these things, apparently when you get to them, they get really damaged. So if that's the case, similar to the Dark Magician Girl one, I think before I show it off, I'll see if I can repair the box as best I can. It is a brand new version. This is like a new version. This is the 2021 version of Asuna from Sword Art Online. The previous one I would love, but that Funko can go as high as, I don't know, $700, and I cannot shell out the kind of cash just for one single Funko, no matter how big of a collector that is. So because of that, I found out that they were going to re-release. Were going to release a new version of Asuna for this year, and I bought it. I think it was January, maybe last year. I don't remember, but I got it off of eBay. It was a pretty good price. I'm happy. So you guys will be able to see an Asuna figure coming, and that means I got to figure a way to talk about Asuna / Sword Art Online, because I haven't watched many episodes about that, but I'll do my best. But with that in mind, guys, thank you all for watching, and I really got to get on Skyboy Rules' case. He's only still done one Funko Talk video, and I guess he said, him and I talked about that. I think he's going to be doing like once a month or something like that. If that's the case, oh well. And if he's watching, don't get upset. Don't shoot me a text or whatever. Saying, I told you that. Yeah, it just took me a sec to remember. I think you're doing like once a month or something, or who knows what. Even though you got like freaking 50 Funkos at your place, I just a guess. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time when I do another Funko story featuring one of the ones I brought up. And y'all have a good day. Thank you all for watching. Take care.